Deuteronomy. Chapter 1 begins with Moses speaking to the Israelites on the plains of Moab. After 40 years since their exodus from Egypt, a new generation is ready to enter the Promised Land. Knowing his time is short, Moses uses this moment to remind the people of their history and restate God's laws. He recounts their journey, highlighting God's faithfulness during their wilderness years. Moses also recalls their failures and rebellions, stressing the need to learn from past mistakes. The Israelites are at a crucial juncture, ready to receive God's promises. Their future depends on their ability to remember the past, learn from their experiences, and fully embrace God's covenant. Chapter 1 revisits the pivotal moments of the Israelites' exodus, starting with their escape from Egypt. Moses recalls God's miraculous acts of liberation from bondage and his guidance through the desert. He recounts the selection of leaders, the giving of the law at Mount Sinai, and the journey to Kadesh Barnea. These narratives are more than historical accounts. They emphasize God's unwavering faithfulness and might. The Israelites are reminded that their liberation and survival were due to God's intervention, not their own efforts. By recalling God's past faithfulness, Moses instills hope and confidence in the Israelites for the challenges ahead. They are reminded that the same God who freed them from Egypt will also lead them into the Promised Land. In chapter 1, Moses underscores the necessity of courage and obedience. He reminds the Israelites that God has promised them the land, urging them to be brave and strong to claim it. Moses stresses the importance of diligently following all of God's commands, linking their success to their faithfulness. He reassures the Israelites that God is with them and will fight on their behalf. Moses guarantees that obedience to God's commands will lead to their success. He points to the example of the 12 spies sent into Canaan. Their faith exemplifies the strength of trusting God even when facing challenges. In the first chapter, Moses appoints leaders to assist him in governing the Israelites. This highlights the importance of shared leadership and the need for wise and capable individuals to guide the community. Recognizing the heavy burden of leadership, Moses seeks God's help. God instructs him to choose wise, understanding, and experienced men to share the leadership responsibilities. This action reflects God's care for both Moses and the Israelites. Appointing leaders is a practical example of God's provision and guidance. It reminds us that God doesn't expect us to carry life's burdens alone. Trusting God is a central theme in Deuteronomy chapter 1. Moses recounts the Exodus and calls for courage and obedience, highlighting the importance of faith in God's promises and provision. He reminds the Israelites that their success hinges not on their own strength, but on their unwavering trust in God. This message is crucial for the new generation, who haven't witnessed God's miraculous power firsthand. The Israelites' journey illustrates the outcomes of both trusting and doubting God. When they doubted God's provision at the Red Sea or questioned his plan at Kadesh Barnea, they faced consequences. Yet when they trusted God, he provided for their needs, protected them from their enemies, and guided their steps. Chapter 1 highlights God's unwavering faithfulness and the critical nature of obedience, while also serving as a stark reminder of the repercussions of disobedience. Moses recounts the Israelites' defiance at Kadesh Barnea, where they hesitated to enter the Promised Land out of fear and doubt. This disobedience led to 40 years of wandering in the wilderness. The consequences of their actions underscore the importance of adhering to God's commands. It serves as a reminder that disobedience not only grieves God, but also brings about negative consequences in our lives and those around us. Deuteronomy chapter 1, though ancient, carries timeless lessons for us today. The themes of God's unwavering faithfulness, the necessity of courage and obedience, the importance of trusting in God, and the repercussions of disobedience resonate profoundly with our lives today. This chapter urges us to reflect on our personal journeys, recognizing God's faithfulness in our own lives and striving to learn from our past errors. Just as the Israelites stood on the verge of the Promised Land, we too encountered challenges and uncertainties. Deuteronomy chapter 1 reassures us that God is with us, just as he was with the Israelites. He will fight for us, guide us, and provide for our needs as we trust and obey him. Are you ready for the next chapter? Just click here to go straight to it.